Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Okay, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Honor to you brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And all praise unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So I wanted to do a quick video in dealing with how you was gonna identify the last days, okay? Because the scriptures talk about the return of the Lord's and how the Lord was going to return and that destruction was going to take place. But it was also going to be indicators, all right, as pertaining to prophecy that was going to play out. Okay, it was going to be things that was going to happen within the earth, okay, within society, between major political powers, okay, to let you know that this was going to be the end. Okay, and that's what I'm finna to go into a little bit today. I'm gonna hit a few precepts dealing with that. So first and foremost, let's go here and show you the mentality that they had 2,000 years ago. The prophets, this is the men of the Lord that they had thousands of years ago when the Lord was on the scene. Okay, so this is the book of Mark, the 13th chapter, and I'll start at the fourth verse. So it says, tell us when these things shall be. This is dealing with the end of the end times, okay? Because we say we're in end times now. We're the last days of the last days. And people are going to naturally ask, how'd you know? How'd you know that you're in the last days of the last days? Well, because it was said within the scriptures, man, okay? When you go into the book of 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter and the 9th verse, this will be a good precept for this lesson too, okay? You find out that the Lord that said that what? Esau was going to be the end of the world, and Jacob was going to be the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, we know also that the salvation of the 12 tribes of Israel is coupled with the destruction of Babylon, and we're going to see that within the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, and other scriptures. You know, if the Spirit has it to where I get them, I get them. If I just quote them, then I just quote them. So it says, they said, tell us when these things shall be, and what shall be the sign of all these things being fulfilled. So what was going to be the indicators? What you're going to see within the earth happening to let you know that you're in the last days of the last days. That's what the mentality of the men of the Lord was having. And that's the mentality you're supposed to be having. Okay, and the Lord responded unto them and said, and Yahushua answering began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you. So you're supposed to be fortified within this truth. Matter of fact, the scripture says, goes as far as saying, having your foundation sure, roughly paraphrasing in Yahweh Hashem and the understanding of this doctrine, okay, studying to show yourself approved. So you're supposed to have a foundation, okay, within your mind, okay, right, based on this truth. And how was you going to establish that foundation? By way of study, by way of having, not just studying, because you can study and think you're on point all you like, but the scripture said unto the Ethiopian eunuch, understand this what thou readest. Meaning to say, there are deep, dark sayings within these scriptures that you're going to need a teacher to teach you to understand these things, man. This wasn't a thing where everybody could just open the Bible that the Yahweh Hashem has had out there and just understand everything that was just in there. It don't work like that, okay? You have need that one teach you, okay? And that's why the Most High said that what? The prophets weren't going to be removed into a corner anymore. You was going to see your teachers. And you was going to get the understanding of these teachers. And one of the major understandings that you have to have is knowing that we're in the last days of the last days. And how do we know we're in the last days of the last days? Because of these simple prophecies was going to be coming to pass. Okay, jumping down to the 7th verse for the point's sake. And when you shall hear of wars, okay, the thing with Russia and America, the thing out there within Syria, the thing out there between Palestine and Israel, those are wars and rumors of wars. And even furthermore, you got it to where some cats out there saying that the 2000 thing was a false prophecy. That was all part of hastening the day. Okay, this was a rumor of wars. There's going to be things like that we're going to say, man. We're going to say, look, this destruction could take place here in 2018. It's the same thing. But the thing that gets a lot of people is that the 2000 year thing was that what? It was because when you go into the Mayan calendar and all of these different calendars focusing in on the placement of the stars, they all had predicted that 2000 was going to be the end of the world. Now, here's the crazy thing. We don't even know what year we're in, okay? And that might be a good title for this video, okay? That might be a good title for this video because you really don't know what year you're in. You had it to where you had the Gregorian calendar that had, 8 days within the Gregorian calendar? Then they changed the calendar up, okay? So you really don't know what year you're in. You could be in 1999 and we're about to get into 2000 right here on the 1st of January. And that could be the end all be all, which is going to be what? The fulfillment of the prophecy that was said before. But also too, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just giving you an example and enlightening you, okay, right, as pursuant to the information that you have gotten, that we've understood about how the times and the seasons have been changed underneath the rulership that we're in, and showing you that, yeah, you might say that, but you could be so way off, okay, right, in saying that it was a false prophecy. You don't know why the Most High had it to where that was said, okay? And also too, when you go into the scriptures, when you look at Nineveh, you had it to where the man, Jonah, he was prophesying against Nineveh, and the Most High had it to where he was getting all jacked up to prophesy against Nineveh, and the Most High suffered Nineveh to exist for a longer period of time. So you don't know why the Most High did that. But see, here at Great Millstone, we know why the Most High did that. We have, okay, because the scripture said that that the Most High was going to have it to where it was going to be extended. The period of time was going to be extended until the elect was sealed. That's what the scripture says. Because if the destruction did take place in the 2000, the elect wouldn't have been sealed, but a small number would have been sealed. Okay? Because the vast majority that was into the word before that time was what? They had fallen off now. But you got the floodgates open unto the Gentiles and so on and so forth. So the 144,000 and the 130 is being is going to be coming into this truth pursuant to what it says within the book of Revelations. Okay, but getting back onto the point here that I have here, which is dealing with what? The end times and identifying the end times. You got it to where the scripture says that you was going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. That was going to be an indicator. But it says, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. And it carries on, it says, for nation shall rise up against nation. Okay, kingdom against kingdom. All right, it shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and it shall be famines and troubles. And these are the beginnings of sorrows. Okay, so these was going to be what? The indicators, all right, that the Lord was returning back. In fact, if I carry on, it says, take heed to it goes into in the 8th verse, for nation shall rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There shall be earthquakes, and you've seen all types of earthquakes these days, right? And there shall be famines. You're seeing all types of famines all over the place now, and that's really due to countries like America and their overconsumption. Okay, but it goes on to say there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, but there shall be famines and troubles, but these are the beginnings of sorrows. Take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver some of you. And that goes into something else. So now let's go to another indicator, okay, another clue, right, letting you know that we're in the last days of the last days, man. This is in the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, and this is going into here in the 3rd verse. So it says, knowing this first, that they shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Okay, so in the last days, there was going to be people that was just going to be saying whatever they want to say, right? Whatever topic, scoffers, man. If you go into that word scoffer, okay, right, it says a mocker. And this is the time of mockery right now, man. This is the time when everybody's just got something to say. Everybody wants to say something about just everybody, man. Okay. Everybody's got an opinion. This is a time of the scoffer right now. But also too is a time wherein the Lord was going to raise up the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. So this is, like I said, we know that the destruction is coupled with the salvation of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. That goes hand in hand. We're going to see that within the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter in a second. But let's read this here to put it into context. It says, whereas Edom says we are impoverished, but we return, and they return. Okay. The biblical Edomites, okay, returned, and they built up the waste cities, okay, the desolate places, namely out there within Jerusalem. They went out there because we had lost our land there. Okay, they built those places up and they called it to their own. They built up America, okay, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So wherever they expound their horizon to, okay, wherever interest that they have in another country, okay, that country usually is what. Usually wicked after they have gone into that. And this is the people against whom the Most High hath indignation forever. Now you might ask yourself, why have I read that scripture? First, because when we go now into the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, now you got a context as to know that this is the last days of the last days. But matter of fact, if we go to the daughter of Babylon first, and then we can actually get some more information on that. So daughter of Babylon in the search. Okay, Psalms 137 and 8, it says, no, let's read up. Let's read up. Okay, so you can get the understanding. Okay, how far are we going to go up? Okay, let's go here. So, Revelation, Psalms 137:7, it says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, which we have just read about within the book of Malachi, the first chapter, okay, and how they was going to return and they built the desolate places. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in a day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it into the foundation thereof." Okay, so what was that talking about? During the Babylonian captivity, you had it to where Esau, Edom, was out there basically saying, look, bring it down to the ground. It says, "O daughter of Babylon." So who's the daughter of Babylon? The daughter of Babylon is Edom. Okay, who ought to be destroyed. Okay, so they're going to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee, and that has served thee, served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones, the children of Edom, against the stones. Now here's where it gets beautiful. Now I was going to go to that book of the scripture I had before, but really to put it into context, okay, as pursuing to this lesson, which is dealing with the end time prophecies. Okay, let's put it into context. So it says the burden of Babylon. Now you have to ask yourself: is this talking about Babylon, or is this talking about the daughter of Babylon? As pursuant to the book of because the daughter of Babylon is going to be Babylon too, right? the son of a farmer is a farmer in most cases, right? Okay, so it says the son of an Israelite is an Israelite. Okay, right? The daughter of Babylon is going to be Babylon. Okay, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift you up a banner upon a high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake their hand, that they may go unto the gates of the nobles. I've commanded my sanctified ones. I've also called my mighty ones, right, for my highness, even them that rejoice in my highness. Now this is an end time prophecy here. The noise of multitudes in the mountains, like as of a great noise, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms and nations gathered together. Isn't this what we just read within the book of Mark, the 13th chapter? Okay, nations gathered together for the Lord of hosts, mastereth up the host of battle. That's what we read within the book of Mark, 13th chapter. They come from a far country, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation against the whole land. Talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles, which is where the book of Joel, the second chapter, comes into it, quite nicely. Okay, it says here within Joel, the second chapter, "Blow ye a trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in the holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh and is near at hand." So this is the end time prophecy. Okay, a day of darkness, of gloominess, of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people, a strong people, and they shall that have not been ever like, and they shall never any more after it, even for heirs to generation. Okay, and this is talking about, is this, now we really have to say, okay, is this talking about people? Okay, because he's going to say some things that are not attributed to people, and it's going to show you that we are in the last days. Because after you see that this is talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles, you're going to come to the understanding that was said by that, I forget what person it was, that the war that's going to come after this, of which there's actually not going to be any war, because Jerusalem is going to be set up upon the earth. But it has been said and has been quoted that the war that's going to precede the World War III, which is of nuclear weapons, and it's going to be a nuclear weapon World War III, which is going to be a day of darkness and a gloominess and a thick smoke, okay? And it's going to be like the people, right, a strong people that have never been like, okay, because there's never been a nuclear World War III. And after it, they said that they was going to fight with the war, they was going to fight war with sticks, because this nuclear war is just going to wipe out every infrastructure of technology out here. That's what the quote is being quoted. Okay, you can Google that. It's been quoted that the war that's going to precede World War III is that what? It's going to be a war that's going to be fought with sticks. That's a quote. Okay, now we know through the scriptures that really that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is when World War III is going to take place, the Lord's going to intervene, and he's going to set up Jerusalem as a people upon the earth, a people to be feared and revered upon the face of the earth. And as a result, you're going to have peace upon the earth. But the fact of the matter is that what? It's going to be that like it's never been before, and it ain't ever going to be like that after. And here's what goes to prove that this is talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles, and hence it is an indicator that we're living in the last days, because now you got it to where nuclear war is being spoken about. Okay, and hence the fulfillment of this scripture is coming to pass. It says, "A fire devoureth before them, and after and behind them a flame." Okay, so when that ICBM nuclear missile goes out there, what you got? You got the propeller. okay, the propulsion system, which is what, which is the behind it, okay, right, and it's like a fire, right, a flame burneth, right. The land is as a garden of Eden before them. So you look at the earth right now, and you see the movies where them ICBM nuclear missiles hit. It's like a garden of Eden, but what happens after, man? Right, the whole land is desolate after that, as it says here, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape. Nothing shall escape. Okay, nothing's going to escape them nuclear missiles. And the appearance of them is like horses and horsemen. Why? Because of the noise. You hear that thundering noise. It's like what? It's like as if you see people upon horses. Now, if this was actually talking about people, they would say the appearance of them was like men upon horses. But that's not what it says. Right? The noise of them is like chariots upon the mountains. They shall leap like the noise of flames. The fire devoureth. Okay, the stubble as a strong people as set in the battle array. Okay, before their faces. Okay, so pretty much that's the point I wanted to pull out on Joel, the 2nd chapter. So let's go back now to Isaiah, the 13th chapter. So you're seeing that all of these things are being tied together. You can only see that we're in that time period of the last days, man. Okay, the inception of nuclear World War III and the technologies required to carry out nuclear World War III. That's in place now. Okay, rumors of wars. That's in place now. Okay, and here it says a multitude. That's going to be in place, and it's going to be in play. Okay, as a result of what's coming as World War III. Okay, right. So it says, kingdoms of nations gathered together, and the Lord of hosts mustereth up the host about. They come from a far country. The same thing we was reading within the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. Even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation. Okay, so when you're talking about hearing about nuclear World War III, and China's got a missile that they can send out there to the Americas and vice versa, you're reading the fulfillment of these different precepts out here. Okay, you're reading the fulfillment of all of these different scriptures out here. And that's an indicator to let you know that we're in the last days of the last days, man. These were the clues. Okay, so now let's go to show you that the destruction of this place is coupled within the scriptures, is always coupled with the salvation of Israel. So it says, behold, in that day and that time when I'll bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I'll also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I'll plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations. Okay, so this goes to show you that this ain't talking about them Garites out there, because they weren't scattered amongst all people. We were scattered amongst all people. And they have cast lots for my people, and they have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine. That's what happened to the 12 tribes of Israel. So here it is when the Lord's bringing back the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, okay, and taking them out of captivity. What's happening at the same time upon the earth? What's happening is that Esau, namely, who's in control of the earth right now, is being destroyed. Okay, and the 12 tribes of Israel are having salvation. That's coupled. So when you're seeing camps rising up, then you should know that we're in a time when Esau was being taken out of the earth. Okay, his power, his influence was being taken out of the earth. That is to say, these were the indicators. Having the men of the Lord out there teaching this word is an indicator, a strong indicator that destruction is coming up to this place. Okay, now let's carry on and finish up here within the book of Obadiah. And this is the 18th verse, and it says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph shall be a flame. So that's the same thing parallel within the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, we was going to be the light upon the hill. Okay, the new illumined ones, the one that had the knowledge, understanding, okay, of how the mechanics of the world was going to work. Okay, we was going to be the ones that had the knowledge now. We was going to be pushing the word so you can understand. Okay, a good precept for that will be the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Okay, that's why we was going to be that fire, man. Okay, but also too was going to be the physical fire, and that what? The house of Esau shall be for stubble, and it shall kindle in them, and there shall not be remaining any of the house of Esau, after the Lord has spoken it. So the point to take here from that is that what? We was going to be that fire. We was going to be risen up. We was going to be seen throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching this word, man. Okay, that's what we was going to be. In fact, we go to the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter, goes into that a little bit, but really that goes into the fact that we was going to be a light upon the whole earth when we are truly established upon the earth. So hopefully that was of edification. With that, I'm going to say, all praise unto Yahweh, Hashem Yahshai. Double honor to the apostles of great millstone. Lord's will, I get to see you on another one. Shalom.